All right. So in this video, it's going to be a quick one, but pretty interesting, hopefully helpful. So we want to show how larger time frames trump smaller time frames, or the lower time frame, the previous time frame. There's a couple of things that we pulled out that we're going to do this with. So we're going to start with EOG resources, an energy stock. Beautifully harmonic after harmonic as it walked this box of consolidation here. I mean, that was just absolute amazing. I think we should give this one a round of applause. And these were all long term trades on the weekly chart. I think what do you come? You start off with I think there's Gartley, and then there's Bat, and then there's Cipher, and then there's I don't know, it's Gartley, then there's Cipher again. And there's a couple of little ones in here. There's two ciphers back to back. That's just so pretty, isn't it? Harmonics are just so beautiful. I couldn't ask for a better gift than the pair of eyes that I've been given. I'm sorry, I got to toot my horn with that. Then he finishes up with another Gartley, and then the harmonic activity is over because you finally break out and close and go a different direction. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about larger time frames trumping smaller time frames. Okay, so with what we have settled into using 3-bar reversals as our confirmation for entry, we want to talk about this. We're on the weekly chart. Okay, so it's all really good too. Bullish engulfing candle. Okay, let's come a little bit more so you can see. Nice doji right here. Nice doji, followed by a bearish candle closing in the trader who would have had a bias direction on there. Okay, kind of hard to say what will happen as he's kind of sitting right here on top of the 50 on RSI too. As long as he's above that, then you're probably going to be able to maintain more of a bullish projection. Okay, anyway, but this trade would have been live. It would have last week, Friday, would have been time to enter. And then in terms of targets, not saying that this isn't going to happen. Both could be at play here. But in terms of targets, it would be from the low to the high right here, and just looking to get down to the 618. The entire trade entering right there when that closed would have looked like stops right above. Okay, and then targeting the 618. So this is what the entire trade would have looked like. A little bit less, a little bit more than the 1-to-1. Still a good trade, but there's no telling if that target, that 618 target, is going to be hit. So let's switch to the other side and talk about why, in which could be a trump card. So, and this would be a trade why a trader would be wondering what happened. Okay, if these things play out like I'm suggesting. I'm not really suggesting anything. All right. So we out of that mode of suggesting and acting like we know what's going to happen. It's a trader's biggest weakness is acting like you know what's going to happen. None of us know what's going to happen. But as we flip over to the month, it's the complete opposite. It is bearish engulfing candle. Okay, followed by doji, followed by right now the trigger bar and entry candle, right? Just needs to close above the doji. That's all it needs. All it needs to do, okay, this is on the month, right? So that month needs to maintain those heights, is close above that, okay? And that would be an entry to go to the other side, to go to the top. But kind of hard to say where it would go because kind of hard to say. I just need to clean up a little bit so that we can see the projected targets. The projected targets would not be that favorable, but since they're on a month, a person would have to consider, unless they're going to stick to their roots, which I would suggest that you always do. So from the high right here to the low, okay, to the low, it's already in that area. It's already at the 618. So once let's say this candle closes right down here on top of that wick, right? then the trade does not offer a one-to-one risk versus reward. Now, nobody would want such a tremendous drawdown like that. It's inverse. It's not even a one-to-one. It's actually almost 1 to 2 the other way, because you have to put your stops under the structure. But that was the first example of showing that the monthly chart is actually the one that should be trumping here. Not only that, okay, another way would be looking at it with that type of 3-bar reversal. Okay, so we're going to get off of this completely. We're going to get off that completely. We're going to throw that whole idea in the trash, and we're going to look at it from a different direction. And that would be seeing that price had absolutely reversed down here with this double bottom, broke out with higher highs and higher closes above the previous. So all of these things took place and were established. And I got a good one for you next too, so you guys want to hang in here, right? And then targets extending off that. So you want to take this up. This is just a pullback, consolidate a little bit. Now you got a signal that's telling you that you could be ready to go and proceed on, march on. And then targets that look like this. So low to high, back, and just using that 127. Now, watch, look what kind of sense this would make. Get him out of our way. And then a long opportunity. Let's say at least above the doji, and then stops right there below that wick, and then targeting up here. So this is what a real long-term trader could be putting together off an opportunity like that, to trade this from the 119s to 185. It's energy company too. Okay, so got that out the way. But this is to show that if this closes above the doji, then it's going to be the trade, the bullish trade on the month that's going to dominate, and not the bearish 3-bar reversal on the weekly. So let's flip over to the SPY. We're going to start off on the SPY, and I did have a video on the SPY suggesting what I'm going to talk about right here, and really got caught up in it, learned a lot from it too. And that's what prompted me to make this video. Bullish engulfing candle, doji, indecision, and then trigger bar closing, signaling a trade to the downside. And I actually had a video on SPY and a bearish opportunity. Okay, none of that happened. Whatever went on, and now you got one of the largest super engulfing candles. Okay, now that's not to say that you later on, we're on the weekly, in a couple of weeks, you got a doji here, and that you can't come back and get a candle to send this back the other way. Not suggesting that at all. If you guys are enjoying this type of technical analysis, give the video a thumbs up. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can, show things, different possibilities. But so the bearish opportunity, what I want to talk about here is it got trumped. All right, it got trumped. Let me clean up so we can see. But I still want to keep some of it, just a little bit of it. The engulfing candle, the doji, and the entry. I do want to keep those three, right? And of course, that didn't happen. Why did it not happen? Guess what? It was never in play. Flip over to the month and we'll talk about actually what was in play. It's completely different. What was in play was the end, the exhaustion. That was their last blow. They blew their load. You can see it. Okay, the bears' last shot, they blew their load. They had been trying to pull this thing down. That was all they had, completely exhausted. Doji, okay, bearish engulfing, doji, trigger bar, and entry right here. The bullish activity, this guy that we saw on the weekly had been active back since early June. We're at the end of June now. This is the month of June. The month of June had been bullish the whole way. There was never a bearish opportunity in sight to begin with. This thing coming down was never going to happen. Matter of fact, the only thing, and now the top is off, right? Now the top is off. He's taking the top off. Okay, the top would have been closing above the 612, I think it is, right? 613, 612, whatever it is, right? I'll make it red since it was supposed to be the end of all things. All right. So that was supposed to be the end of this thing. Make him a little bit smaller. He's kind of thick. All right. That was supposed to be it. But now the month of June has absolutely closed. We're done. It closed. You have a higher close, all-time high close. And then what you could do is go into your projection off of that. So using this as the starting point right here, and then running an extension, grabbing the extension tool, going from the low to the high, coming back. That's one of them right there, right? That's one way to do it. There's the 127. So yes, suggesting 685, okay, on the low end, but there's more to it. When you run your fib from the low to the high and see where it retraced to, you see that it was a little bit past the 382 or 38%. We'll bring on the 50 to see how far he got. He just wigged down and touched 50. That means with a 50% retracement, you're looking at a 1414 extension. So we'll go ahead and add that. Now we have the accurate target, 723 for SPY. Okay. Let me remind you, this isn't to be construed as financial advice or a trade signal. We're analyzing the SPY. We're talking about higher time frames trumping lower time frames. I can understand how some of this stuff can be very enticing. Okay. But that's basically what's happening. So from this starting point, this high right here, this wick down to the 50%, 3-bar reversal, takes the top off, higher high, higher close. This is absolute confirmation, okay, of this trend, this overall trend continuing to run. Absolute confirmation of that trend to continue running. And then the last thing that I would say about it is that if the market continues to make these equal measure moves, then A to B would be equal to C and D. And this would be your final target up here somewhere. 740s. Okay. A lot does need to happen. I think it's a pretty amazing that this is closed. This is done. This month is pretty much over. The month of June. This is the month of June that started on the 1st down here, and here's the 30th. So, yeah, flip over tomorrow, and I'm really wondering what things are going to look like tomorrow as it opens, and just to try to get a peek at it, just to try to see, it's so crazy. The candle was actually indecision. I don't think it should be indecision. It's a doji. I came down to the 4-hour, meaning anything can happen. But for the sake of this video, let's just go to the extended trading hours and see what has happened after. So it's at 617. So not a lot, but you can see how the result of the indecision candle even has a red candle. It's got a little guy over here, another little small, and then he's just big, same, equal. Okay, it's just equal. It's just the wicks are the same. The shadows are the same, and the body is right there in the middle. Pretty beautiful, pretty special. Okay, as we await to see what the decision is going to be, where this thing is going to go. Okay, this is very beautiful to see. Okay, and this is what's happening. So at this point, nobody can make a projection. No one is in control. You have to stop thinking that you are in control. You can do your analysis, you can trade your plan, you can put your stops in place, you can protect your capital, you can do all that stuff, but nobody's in control. And the market is telling you that it does not even know what it's going to do or where it's going to go. So that means you don't know. So stop acting like you do. That being said, that's all I have on this one. Okay. Higher time frames trumping lower time frames. You guys be good. Take care of yourself. Give this one a thumbs up if you like this video. Had some technicals in it. Had some teaching, some instruction in it. Had some breakdowns in it. Had some psychology in it. Okay. Share this video with anybody that you know that it could help. Okay. As always, head over to the Harmonic Trading Academy playlist, where we teach all these things in detail and more, including every single pattern that you saw on here is taught in the playlist. If you are into advanced pattern recognition and harmonic patterns, they're here. But at this point, what you're able to do, things are a little bit different. I'll be honest with you. What you're able to do is start to incorporate more of confirmation. If you look at this right here, okay, let me see. Here. If you look at this area right here, even though he fills the cipher, he actually does a 3-bar. You got engulfing candle, you got engulfing, you got doji, and then you basically have your entry bar right here. And then you get your price action for that winner on that cipher. But all of these things are taught in the Harmonic Trading Academy playlist. So we're moving kind of slow on subscriptions. This channel should have 1 million subscribers to it. We're at 300. Let's get to 500. Help your boy get to 500. I need 200 subs. Share these videos. Tell your friends. I came across one of the most amazing YouTube channels out there that teach trading free. Okay. And I appreciate your subscription. If you can kindly subscribe to the channel and turn the bell icon on so you can be notified when amazing videos like this come out. That's all we have on this one. You guys take care of yourself. Be safe in the market, and I will see you on the next video.